Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on a very distinctive topic after a long span of time. So friends, you got it right. Today we are going to have our discussion on palmistry. So now friends, truth to be told, I was just going through some specific book in my bookshelf and I came across this book which used to be my favorite at the time when I was going through my palmistry course at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. So I just thought it's like if I will start again picking up topics from palmistry, which I am very much sure I have comprehensively covered in both of my English and Hindi channels on palmistry, so it is gonna be a long playlist. And just because we are already having our discussion on Vastu, on KP astrology and existing on and off the transit videos, so I just thought in just one video let's try to summarize the peculiar points of palmistry. Like, let's say for example, if you are working as an HR and your nature of job is always to scrutinize and recruit right set of people. Now you could be a lawyer, you could be an arbitrator. Just do not try this knowledge in a bar on girls. But apart from that, how can palmistry be used as a tool for the personality analysis? That is something which we will try to do in this video. Because friends, truth to be told, in Indian palmistry, the knowledge of palmistry is very extensive, is very comprehensive. Like rather, the person who is very renowned and world famous in the fields of palmistry is the Kiro. And even Kiro in his autobiography, even he mentioned this thing that at one point of his time he traveled to India and he actually learned this science of palmistry from one Joshi sect of Brahmins in Maharashtra. So the range of palmistry is to such an extent that for any kind of occult science or these kind of spiritual sciences, one approach is of doing a personality analysis. The second stage is of timing the events, which many palmists are able to successfully do that. And the extreme stage is that, the extreme stage of knowledge and expertise is that I have even heard about all those palmists who just by looking at your palm, they can draw your natal chart. Truth to be told, I do not have that level of expertise, but yes, this kind of knowledge still exists in India. And majority of these knowledge is shared in a guru shishya parampara or from one family to another family. But in this video friends, we will try to understand that in just this standalone video, if you have to see the signs of a refined personality. Now when I say refined personality, that includes everything: a good character, a good conduct, good behavior. This person can be trusted with your secrets. For any sort of good conduct and behavior in this society, a intellectually driven mind is something how we can see and decode from palmistry on all planes. That I will try to explain you in this video. Because friends, in our Samudrik Shastra, the steps of analysis through palmistry are of 3 stages. Now first stage is of darshanam. Just while looking at the palm, you get to know a lot about the personality of the person. So darshanam is to look at the palm. Second stage is sparshanam. When you touch the palm, you get to know about the strength and resilience of the mounts, the bounciness and the warmth, the temperature of the palm. So after the darshanam, to look at the palm, second is the sparshanam, to touch the palm, and third stage is rekha vimarshanam. The scrutinization of lines come at the end. Just while looking at the shape and structure and the temperature of the palm, all of this information can also tell you a great deal about someone's personality. So okay friends, let's just start our analysis. We will try to summarize the knowledge of this book in just one standalone video, which is a difficult thing to do, but I'll try my level best. So now friends, the first thing to look at is the shape and structure of the palm. So when I say shape and structure, so definitely you have to see how the fingers are placed in the palm. Like the way it has been believed in palmistry, that if you will find that all the fingers naturally when you are looking at the palm, so all the fingers are tightly held together. So that just tells about a personality or a person who might not be very extrovert or very open minded. But the moment you're going to find the that there is a gap between the fingers, naturally gap. It's not like that person is deliberately spreading out his fingers. A naturally wide gap between the fingers tells about open-minded personality. The second thing is that specifically the gap between these two fingers, index finger and the middle finger, just tells about the independence of the thought. The gap between ring finger and the little finger just tells about someone who is very independent with his or her actions. And if you will find the gap between these two fingers, like middle finger and the ring finger, that tells about freedom from the culture, society and the norms. Now friends, after that, now when we talk about looking at the signs of refinement in someone's personality, trust me, thumb plays a very pivotal role in that. Like in palmistry, it has been mentioned that the only one thing which separates a primitive man from a refined man is the shape and structure of the thumb. There has been many case studies which has been done, and in the personalities and in the cases of the brutal serial killers, murderers and rapists, you will definitely see the signs of that animalistic tendencies and instincts in the thumb. So the more refined thumb is, the more refined personalities. And definitely friends, when we talk about that someone who's going to have a very flexible, very adaptable, very refined personality, so the more flexibility you will find, that thumb is going back, it is pushing back. Okay, mine is also happening. So if thumb is being pulled back or fingers are turning back like this, so that also tells about that there is flexibility in the personality of the person. Now friends, afterwards, now even in the when we talk about these three phalanges, even they play a very pivotal role, because the top phalanges tells about the mental plane. So if you will find, because it can be understood as sattva, rajas, tamas as well. So the top phalange, if you will find that the top phalange of the fingers are proportionately longer as compared to the middle phalange and the bottom phalange, so that also tells about that this is a person who is very intellectually driven. His emphasis and energy is more going on the mental plane. After that friends, you will definitely find that compared to the bottom mounts, you will find that the top mounts are very prominent, because friends, like this is the mount of the Venus, which has more to do with the pleasures and the materialistic side of the life, and mount of the moon has everything to do with imagination, which can be a boon for people in the creative fields. But when we talk about someone who is very intellectually refined, who is very much driven towards wisdom, knowledge and intellectual aptitude, so definitely the mount beneath the index finger is the mount of Jupiter, mount beneath the middle finger is the mount of Saturn, mount beneath the ring finger is the mount of Apollo, and mount beneath the little finger is the mount of Mercury. So comparatively, you will find that these mounts are prominent. They are little bit protruded, little bit puffed. There is pinkness in the form of color, and over and above that, even if you will find that the pattern over here is of the whorl. So like there could be three print patterns in the tip of the fingers. You could find the arches or loops or the whorl, which we say as the chakra in Hindi. So the more whorls you have on the tip of the fingers, the more personality could be seen as inflexible or independent. So that is how you can see. Now friends, when we talk about someone who is going to be very much refined and intellectually driven, so in those cases, compared to the lifeline, you will find that emphasis is definitely going to be more in the headline and the heartline. So why? Because heartline tells about the sensitivity of your emotions and the attention which you give to your relationship, and headline tells about it has nothing to do with your IQ. Rather, it tells about the way you use your or you direct your mental energies and the way you solve your daily problems and how flexible you are. So all of that we get to know from the headline and the heartline. So if you will find these two lines without any affliction, they are not cut, there is no islands, there is no bad marking over there, they are well defined, they are very sharp and they are very clear. Over and above that, generally in the personality of the refined people, you will find that their lines, specifically the headline and the heartline, will have a curve in it, because the more curved these lines are, the better accommodating, flexible and very optimistic personality you will find. Now friends, when we talk about the secondary lines like line of Mercury, line of Saturn and the Sun line, so these are the lines which you will not find in everyone's palm. And like the way it has been believed in palmistry is that either you should not have these secondary lines, that is good. You have these lines and they are without any affliction, that is one of the best case. But if you have them and they are afflicted, then that is a red flag situation. So definitely friends, line of Mercury, which tells about your business acumen, it is also the line of communication. Fate line, which tells about the prospects of your career, and Sun line is the line of recognition. So if you will find that the person whose palm you are observing, if that person is going to have these secondary lines and they are unafflicted, that can be seen as a very good sign. And definitely friends, in daily dealings specifically, we have to give attention to the headline, which is the line of how you drive your mental energies, the way you deal with daily problems. So if you will find headline to be very straight, person could be very straightforward. But if you will find that headline is curved and the curve is going towards the mount of the Luna, mount of the moon, so that in itself tells about that person is going to be very empathetic, person is going to be very imaginative and very adjustable in any given situation. And friends, lastly, these signs are very rare, but if you will find in someone's palm, they actually give heightened attention towards some specific peculiar qualities, because so far whatsoever we have discussed, these are just the random regular people with different personalities. But what makes someone extraordinary, distinctive or special is with the appearance of special marks. So I would say that ring of Solomon on the mount of Jupiter is a sign of wisdom. Very good sign. If you will find the star on the sun line or on the mount of sun, that can be seen as a very good sign of success, recognition and sudden speculative gains. A triangle on the mount of Saturn can be seen as a very good sign for a very research-full oriented mind. Medical stigmata on the mount of Mercury is seen as a very good sign for someone who is going to be having a very helpful, a very empathetic personality. On the mount of Luna or the mount of Moon, if you will find symbols like a triangle, a square, or rather some sort of like swastik symbol, so these are the symbols which tells about that your mind is very imaginative, very intuitive, and you will gain from the travels. And lastly friends, on the mount of Venus, presence of special symbols like the symbol of Jupiter, or if you will find the Mars line over here, or even the star symbol, that can be seen as a very good sign of financial prosperity. Specifically, the gains might be connected with the relationship or because of the presence of your partner. So these are the few things friends which I wanted to give you a highlight, that just via one cursory look at someone's palm can actually give you a great deal of information regarding someone's personality. Predicting events is one thing. Drawing a chart, looking at the palm is a higher level of excellence. But in our daily dealings, while meeting people, doing a handshake with people, I don't know during these COVID times how many people are actually, shaking hands or something, but definitely a cursory look at someone's palm can actually tell you about how this person think and how refined this person's personality is. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs on this very short summarized video on the topic of palmistry. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology and palmistry, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.